hitting the record button. So we are recording. We are going to be talking about how to find people on social media. So there's like some really cool things. I'm going to teach you 9 different ways to connect with people using Facebook and Instagram. I feel like I have to be a little bit quiet because I'm like, I don't want to yell because I know Sutton's over there. Okay, so before we start talking about the ways of connecting directly with the people, like where to find them, there are 2 separate ways that you can actually message people, like the conversation that you're going to start with them. So one way is relationship building. The second way is just being direct and putting it out there while you're connecting with them. So the relationship building way is like what I talked about on all my other social media trainings is, right, like you find them, you add them, you're like, hey, I see that we are in this group together or whatever it is. And then you say things like, I would love to connect on here. Then you ask them, there's the 4 acronyms, LORD, location, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So then you start with, where are you from or where are you based out of? And that starts the conversation of relationship building with this person. Because then, and you have to just keep it normal and natural, right? You're getting to know somebody. Just imagine you're having a conversation with them. You want to keep it flowing natural. You don't really want to have like a cut and paste template because it'll be kind of weird if they're getting this like, you know, just a cold message. So if you're like, yeah, I saw you on this group, always make sure you write where you found them. Because when you go back in your messages, it's going to help you remember where you found them. Because when you start getting like 90 messages from people and you don't know where you connected with them, it's going to be hard to keep that conversation going. So always state that, yep, I seen your comment in this group and thought it would be great to connect with you on here. Where are you from? And then the conversation goes, and then you say like, what do you do there? You know, if they're like, oh, I'm from New Jersey. Okay, well, what do you do in New Jersey? Sorry. And then they'll tell you what they do and you like go back and forth. You can tell them what you do, like have a conversation because you are building a relationship, right? Like, and don't be scared. Like, I know some people are like, well, I don't want people to know very much about me. Like, I don't want them to be able to find me. I don't want them like, and that's okay. So you have to think you're dealing, like you're encompassing the whole world. So if you even just say, I'm from Canada, right? Like, or if you say I'm from British Columbia, you don't have to tell them exactly like where you're from. You can, right? But you want to give them enough information about yourself so that they trust you to tell you the things that you're asking, right? And then occupation, right? What do you do there? And then like, hey, do you do anything like any recreational activities now, right? Like people are going to be like, no, because it's too hard to get out. Or people will be like, yeah, I go walking, whatever, keep the conversation going. And then just be like, so, and it's really kind of easy because we're at the beginning of the year. So we can always use things like, you know, did you set any goals for the year? Did you do any New Year's resolutions? Like, what are your dreams? What are your plans for the year? Right? Like we can use that right now, which is really cool because that is where they're going to start telling you things like, you know, whatever. I would like to move to another country, or I'm trying to go over here, or this is what I want to accomplish. And then that's when you can, like, if they're looking for So for example, I was just speaking with somebody and they wanted to move, but they only had one income. They've been like saving up for a whole year. And I'm like, you know what? I actually make a couple extra $100 every month, because you don't want to scare them. Because if you're like, I'm making like 5 extra grand, they're going to be like, yeah, I can't do that. So you want to keep it doable, right? Like, yeah, I make a couple hundred extra bucks every month. Like, are you interested in hearing about it? Like, do you want me to tell you about it? And then you always say, no worries if you don't. I just thought I'd ask, because those are the words that's going to take the pressure off of them and thinking that you are being salesy or trying to sell them something or anything like that, right? Because you're not going to be like, you absolutely need to have to look at this. So those are right. Like, so that's how that connection goes when you're building a relationship. So direct messaging somebody is kind of like, so this is an example I'm going to get, I like have my notes. So I'm going to read from that. Be like, hey, Natasha, I noticed that you're like into health and wellness. I'm looking for people that are into health and wellness to see if they would like to make a secondary income. Would you be open to checking out some more information? No worries if not. I just thought I'd ask. So that is like the direct way. Direct way works really good actually on the Instagram platform, because Instagram is less personal than Facebook. And yeah, like you don't have to like create such relationships all the time. So Instagram, or if somebody has put it out there, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm, not feeling well. I'm looking for this, or geez, you know what? It really sucks that I'm broke, or whatever, right? Like you can gauge the conversation. So one thing to be aware about is the direct messaging. It works to get a cut and dried yes and no answer right away. The thing is you're going to have to ask more people, because you're not building the relationship, and they might just be like, who are you? I don't even know you. So no, I don't. But the people out there are people out there that are like, oh my gosh, like, thank you. Like, there is no beating around the bush. I am so excited that you asked me this. Like, can you tell me more? I am totally looking for some extra income from home. So you always have to remember that there's like those two different kinds of people. But you're also going to have like some thick skin to handle the no's that you're going to get. But when you start looking at it as like a whole world that you're interacting with, and not just your friends and your family or your community, it becomes actually easier to start sifting through the people, because there's billions of people out there. So when they say no, you're like, thank you, just thought I'd ask. If you want to stay connected, like, that would be great. If not, no worries. Like, go to the building relationship one. Just be like, do you want to stay connected on here? Just wondering, like, where are you from? I'm from blah, blah, blah. Whatever, however you want to stay connected with them. So you just need to remember that if you are going to like direct message somebody, you're going to get a lot of more no's than you will yeses, but the yeses are going to be clear and clear and concise that they want to do the business. Okay, so those are the two ways. Now we are going to go into, where do we find people and how do we connect with them? Okay, so I'm going to use like FAM. That's find the people, add the people as a friend, and then message them in private messenger, whichever way you're choosing, direct message or relationship building message. Okay. So you are going to, here's one way. I have a really dry throat. I'm just putting this down because my oils are behind. I'm like, I gotta find some oil that I'm going to put on. I better not put motivation on like right before I go to bed. Okay. So here is one way. You are going to go into your news feed on Facebook, and you're going to find a post that one of your friends has made. And then you are going to comment on her post, but you're also going to check out and see other people's comments that have been made on her post. And then you are going to click on their name, and you can like heart their comments. So when you're interacting on social media, you always want to heart. You don't like things, always heart them. It gives you a different algorithm on your Facebook. So the other thing you need to keep in mind is the mindset that you have of why you're connecting with people, because we are not headhunters. We are not like out there hunting people to be part of our business. What we are doing is we are creating relationships so that we can offer the gift that we have of like health and wellness or another source of income. They are gifts, and that is why we're connecting with these people, because we know there are people in the world that are looking for what we have. So we're looking for those people. So when you're making messages, sometimes people feel like, okay, so I'm going to tell you like all about this stuff. So sometimes people will be like, oh my gosh, I can't say that because they're going to totally think that I'm like trying to sell them something. Okay, you're probably the only one thinking that in that relationship, because only about 1% of people will actually think that you're trying to sell them something. Everybody else, they're just going to love connecting. People who don't want to connect, they're not going to connect. So don't ever be like, oh my gosh, well, what if I annoy somebody? What if I, don't think that, because those people are not going to answer you. And that is okay, because you don't want to be making friends with people who don't answer you anyway. You don't want to put your energy into people who are not going to connect with you. So don't ever be messaging people with a thought, oh my God, they're going to think that I'm like trying to sell them something, because they aren't thinking that. So when you go and you find a friend's post and you comment on her post, and then you love everybody else's comments, and then you click one of her friends, and you can add them as a friend, and then you private message them, and you say something like this. Be like, hey, Sharon, I see that we have a mutual friend. And then you can say her name. Okay, before you click her, like when you're going to add her as a friend, go check out her profile so that you get an idea of who she is. Does she have kids? Is she an animal lover? Is she like an outside person? Is she inside? Like, what is it that she's posting about? Because people post about the things that are important to them. So if you go on there and you see that she has kids, you just be like, oh, hey, I see that we have a mutual friend, so-and-so. I also have young kids. I thought it would be great to connect on here. I thought it would be cool to connect on here. Is that all good? And you always end with a question. So how are you doing? People right now really like to hear, how are you doing? Because, well, the obvious, right? So you just say that. If you don't have kids and she has something on there like, hey, I see that we have some similar interests, blah, blah, blah. Would be cool to connect on here. How you doing? It's that easy. You don't want to write a big essay. Just keep it short and simple. Always, always, always use their name. Always use their name. Hey, so-and-so, like, hey, Sharon, hey, Elizabeth. Because that way, if you believe it or not, Facebook actually can tell like when you're messaging people, and if you don't say their name, because they kind of are like, they're whatever reads or monitors what's going on Facebook. They're trying to keep things like like the scammers and the hackers and the any bots like computers or whatever that are mass messaging people, they're trying to keep that away. So when you use their name, that switches always gives like different content to the message. So then you're not going to get flagged, blocked, or jailed. So always use their name. And that's also why you don't ever want to like just create a template and mass message it to people, because it's not authentic, right? You're getting to know these people because that's what we do, right? Like that's what we do for a living, is we actually make friends. So you need to go and learn some things about the people, go on their profile. Hey, hey Sharon, I see that we have a mutual friend. I see that you have kids. I have kids too. It would be pretty cool to connect on here. How are you doing? That simple, okay? So you can also, if you're going to just direct message them, like if they're made a comment about, right, like anything about health or income or anything like that, and you want to direct message them, do not mention the name of the mutual friend that you have. Just say, hey, like, hey, Sharon, I noticed we have mutual friends and I see that you enjoy blah, 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 whatever you found on their Facebook. I'm looking for people who would like to make a secondary income. Would you be open to checking out some information? No worries if not, just thought I'd ask, okay? The one that I really like for when they have kids, right? Because that's so easy to connect for us, moms that have children and stuff like that. Say, hey, Sharon, I notice we have mutual friends. You have a young family, me too. I'm looking to connect with people who are open to working around their kids. Would you be open to getting some more information on this? No worries if not, I just thought I'd ask. Okay, so that's all from your news feed. And those are all friends of your friends. So it instantly gives a connection because you know somebody mutual. So that makes you a safe person that they can trust a little bit more than just a stranger. So that's in your news feed. So you can go in and you can check that out. Also on Facebook, Facebook gives us a list of suggested friends. That is people who are like, maybe you're from the same town, you're in the same groups, you went to the same school, you have some same interests and hobbies. Facebook is like, okay, we're going to say you should be friends with these people because they're kind of doing the same thing you are doing on Facebook, the things that you're interested in. So you go find your suggested friends. It's under your friends list, right? Like it'll show you your friends list and then it'll show you a list of suggested friends. You add them as a friend and then you private message them. Okay, that's the FAM. You find, add, message. Everybody that you find, you add them as a friend and you private message them. Do not do one without the other, all three all the time. So then you message them and you be like, hey, Kim, I noticed you came up on my suggested friends list. So I checked out your profile and I would love to connect with you. Like, how are things? Right? People might be like, oh my God, what are you doing checking out your profile? Because it's public and it's fine and we have things in common. Don't ever prejudge what people are going to think. There's people out there that are desperately seeking connection right now and they are so grateful that somebody reached out to them. Okay, you never know. Okay, so that's the suggested friends. Then they actually have a place on Facebook. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed it, but it says discover people. So you can go into that section where it says discover people. These are also people that are going to have things in common from pages that you, hey, what are you doing? Oh, you're watching dog. My dog just like chewed the nose off of my baby's. Oh no. This is Puppy from Las Vegas. Rotten dog. Jeez. Anyways, that's my new mama mission. Okay, I am sorry. Okay, so on the Discover page, they are going to have the things in common with you again. Any pages that you've liked, groups that you've liked, your location, your About You section. So if you do not have your Facebook About Me section updated, then you need to go and do that, because that is going to help connect you to people. You don't have to be specific. You don't even have to turn the settings onto like public for people to see. Like, have your Facebook public, but if you're uncomfortable, you don't want people to know what city you live in, you can put this setting to that only you are allowed to see it, but Facebook will still use that information to connect you to other people without telling them. Nobody else can see it but you. So that's pretty important to like get that together, okay? So in the Discover People, you go in and then you find out what you have that's mutual, like maybe it's mutual friends, mutual groups, mutual pages, location, high school, whatever. So then you find those people, you add them, and then you message them. So then you say, hey, Melissa, I noticed we have some mutual friends, or we're part of the same group, or hey, did you go to this high school? So that's one way, right? And you always say, I would love to connect with you. How you doing? Okay. So that is the Discover People part. I had no idea that that was a thing. Not at all. Okay. Hi, Josie.
Hi.
How you doing?
Do you know what this crazy is? Like, my house is crazy. So I'm finally had a couple minutes to jump on now.
Awesome. We're recording it, so you can always go and listen to it when you have time. So another way too is the new people that you have connected with and added as a friend. Hi, Deshaun. You can go to their friends list, and then you can actually go in their friends list and find the things that you have in common with them. You know, mutual friends. So you can, again, right? Like it's kind of the same thing as when you're looking on your news feed and commenting and finding people from your friends list. Hey, we have so-and-so in common, right? And that is going to really grow where you know people, because the people that you're just adding could be from anywhere in the world. And so you're going to grow your friends group all over. And then message them, right? You find them, you add them as a friend, and you message them. Hey, Jane, right? I see that we have a mutual friend. Check out their profile again. I see that you love horseback riding. Oh my gosh, that's something I've always wanted to do. That would be great. I would love to connect with you on here. How you doing? Okay, so you always do that. If you have joined a new group, you can go and do the same thing with the people in that group. You can go down the list and you can see the things that you have in common with them. You can actually go and like say if you wanted to connect with people in, let's say, I don't know, like Brazil, you can change, or Spain. I don't know. I don't really know my world very well, but you can go and change your city and say like, okay, I live in Barcelona, Spain. Nobody can see this but me, but that's going to show you the people who are from that place, right? They're going to connect you based on your location being the same. And then you could be like, hey, so-and-so, like, I see that you're from, you know, we're connected in this group and you're from Barcelona, Spain. I've always wanted to travel there. Like, what are some things that you can tell me about it? I'd love to connect with you on here. What can you tell me about it? That sort of a thing. So that's like, it is so crazy, all the different ways that you can connect with people. So the suggested friends that Facebook gives you and the Discover People, because that is something that Facebook puts together for you. You can go and add those people and message them as many as you want, because there's no limit on it. You won't get blocked and you won't get put in Facebook jail, because Facebook is trying to, like, you know, right, like keep the accounts real, keep people from spamming people, that sort of a thing. So you want to stay out of Facebook jail and you want to not get blocked. So discover people and suggested friends, because it's a Facebook option. They won't block you for being in there and adding people. Okay, so make sure that your Facebook, all your stuff about you is updated and current. Okay, so, okay, so here is another one. You go to pages. And so this is a really good one. And Josie, this one, like, I don't know if like Lisa Nichols has a page. I know some people, like for personal development, you can go and find like Tony Robbins' page. You can go to Les Brown's page, Mel Robbins, Lisa Nichols, like Dean Graziosi, like anybody that you love, go find their page and follow them on their page.
Lisa has a page.
Awesome. Okay, so follow
on her page.
Yeah, follow. So go and follow some pages. And then you're gonna go through their feed, that right? Like they have their discussion feeds, and you are going to find a post, and then you're going to look at the comments. So the people who commented on their post are the people that you are going to go into. You are going to add them as a friend, because you found them. You're going to add them as a friend, and then you're going to message them, and you're going to say, hey, I noticed you and I commented on Lisa Nichols' page. I loved your comment. I thought it would be cool to connect on here. Okay? A tip, a hack, a trick, you go find the people who have a top fan badge. Those are the people that are going to, right? They have commented on more than one post. They comment regularly. There's somebody who you're going to have something in common with, right? Like they're engaged. So you're like, those are the people that you want to find, or those ones. You could say something like, hey, so-and-so, I noticed you're a big fan of Lisa Nichols' page. Me too, totally love her. I would love to connect with you on here. Okay, so you can always direct message those people as well, but that's totally, you always gauge your conversations and what you want to do, okay? Okay, so the other one is groups. This is the one that I talk about a lot. This is the one that I've been teaching you guys about. This is the one that we've been working on. We call it doing your 5 by 5 by 5, right? You want to join 5 groups. In each group, you're going to comment on the first 5 posts, and your comment is going to be 5 words or more. And you're going to do this every day. So that's 25 comments every day, because you are creating relationships. You're creating trust. The more people see your name, the more you are going to be trusted. And then in one of the groups, you are going to, like, I always say, like, put a picture of yourself or you and the baby or you, whatever, but always have a picture of you so that people know who you are. Because when people see people and they're like, oh, this girl, she's like comfortable enough, she trusts us enough to like put herself out there. And you could be like, hey, I'm new to this group, I'm from like British Columbia, Canada, where are y'all from? Just like that. You could also right, like make a post about anything. I like to say, where y'all from first, because that is the first question we ask in LORD, right? Then you know where they're all from. You private message them. Hey, Jasmine, I appreciate that you commented on my post in the self-love group. It was amazing. I see that you're from Northern Ireland. What is it that you do over there? Relationship building conversation right there. And it's amazing the people that will message you back. It's awesome. Okay, so that's groups. Okay, and then another one, which is really crazy that we never think about, is actually our memories in Facebook, right? Every day, Facebook will like throw some memories at us. They're not just there for us to reminisce. Go in there, click on it, and then look and see if you connected with all the people that made comments on your post. Because a lot of times when we kind of first started this, like we didn't. So then on your post, you go see who commented and you click on their name, and yeah, you're already friends with them, but you can see, oh my gosh, I haven't like talked to this guy for like 2 years. Like, hey, so-and-so, like, I've really missed you. Like, I can't believe it's been 2 years since we've even had a conversation. Like, oh my gosh, I'd love to change that. I really would love to reconnect with you. Like, how have you been doing? Right? So that is, that's something that you always want to be aware of, because a lot of times we forget about the people who are on our friends list. And we have to remember that the algorithms of Facebook does not show every single one of our friends our posts. So they might not be engaging because they're not seeing our things. And the algorithm of Facebook, when you message somebody, Facebook is going to be like, oh, this is an important relationship. So we are going to start showing your posts to these people, which is amazing. And then you'll see their posts as well, which can keep you building your relationship. Okay, here is another one that is like super amazing. Events. Okay, I had no idea that you could connect with people on events, but now I do. So events, this is something you want to master. It's important to get into events. So you go into the events, right? Like you go in and where it shows you the events, and it will show you events that are happening today, tomorrow, next week, whatever. It will show you where the events are happening, if they're online, if they're in Barcelona, wherever. So you can choose like the location, like, hey, are there any events happening about, you know, whatever, like personal development in New York City? Click on it and it will pop something up. So you always want to find an event that has your interest, and you click going, because when you click going, it's going to show you the list of everybody else that's going. And once you get that list of people who are going, you found them, you add them as a friend, and you go and connect with them on Messenger. Hey, so-and-so, I see that you're attending this event. So am I. I'm so excited to hear whatever it is or whatever the event is happening. I'd love to connect with you on here. How are you doing? So that's like amazing, because that gives you another, right? Like a whole world that you get to choose from. Okay. So on Instagram, there are 2 ways right now that I'm going to tell you about. So on Instagram stories, you want to go in, you can go and in the search bar, hashtag one of your interests. Let's just use travel, hashtag travel. So all of these stories, like up in the top, there's a circle. And when it has a red ring around it, that means like that there's a story there. So click on their story and you message, you say something, engage with them on their story. Hey, this is amazing. This is great. Looks beautiful. Wow, where is this? Whatever, because that message is going to go directly into their inbox, and people are more likely to notice your comments and engage with you because they see their inbox more than their notifications, because notifications are busy. So that, you know, you might get missed, but if you're in their inbox, you're going to be personal and you can start your conversation that way. And then the other one is Same thing, hashtag your interests. So let's just use travel again. And people's posts will pop up. And so you can click on a post and then follow them. And you can say like, hey, Kim, I saw a post of yours pop up in the hashtag travel feed. I noticed that you're in Korea. I always thought that was a beautiful place. Like, what's it like over there? You know, ask the question, how is it? Start that relationship. And then, right, like private message them on that post. Like you can comment on the post, like beautiful place, and then private, because you always want to get into their inbox. That is where you want to go. Okay, so that is like 9 different ways to connect with people. Super simple, opens up the whole world to you. If you guys need help with scripts or like, you know, like I know I said we don't want to do scripts, but just like ideas on how to word things, because network marketers tend to really overthink things. Basically, all you're saying is, hey, how are you? I met you at this place. This is how I know you. This is, you know, I just want to connect with you. If you're doing the direct messaging, always say, you know, no worries if you don't want to do this. I just thought I'd ask, because that gives them an out, that gives them the room to like be in a safe place to say, hey, you know what, this isn't my thing, that kind of a thing. So no pressure, they're not going to feel the pressure. And it gives you the space to feel respectful and honoring them as well. So it's really good. So I have a challenge for everybody watching this, Josie and Elizabeth, and then anybody who watches the replay. My challenge to you from now on, every day, use one of those strategies or one of those places that I gave you and connect with 10 people every single day. Find, add, message. Find, add, message. Okay. So I know that we've been really working on getting our groups nailed down, which is really good to just have like some focus. I also know it's hard to nail down those groups. And so, you know, you're thinking, oh my gosh, like I don't have this, you know, I'm losing out on this time to connect with people because I haven't established my groups, and it can be overwhelming. But here, I gave you like 8 more ways to connect with people, not just on the groups, and you've got them all already. You have access to all of the ones that I gave you. So that's my challenge to you guys. From today on, you will FAM, find, add, message, 10 people using those different 9 strategies that you have. All right, does that sound doable? Are you ladies, like, can you ladies talk, or are you busy? I know you both have busy babies going on right now and you're putting them to bed, but I appreciate you jumping on here and listening. It is fantastic. And just know that I'm here to help you guys. Totally. Yes. I just love you guys so much. I just want to like squeeze y'all up. And I love the hearts on your sweater, Josie.
Pardon?
I love the hearts on your sweater.
It's pajamas.
Best business ever. We
right?
Can get our jammers.
I know who gets to do Zooms in their PJs with a bun.
Yeah, I know. I have my hair French braided today, but it's falling out because I was cleaning my room before I did this. And I'm like, I'm getting so addicted to these blitzes because I get so much done, and I feel like I'm actually like giving you guys some value and, you know, ways to build your business. And when we do blitzes, like this was a lot of like teaching. We can do another blitz where we like do the things, and we'll go in kind of like how the last ones were, where we went in and spent time looking for the groups. Yeah, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna let you ladies get going because I know you are busy mamas, and I have to go finish cleaning my room. I just get so, oh my gosh, Josie, that looks delicious. Don't even tell me. Did you make that in your Instapot? Okay.
Not this time.
Awesome. This looks so good. Okay, ladies. Yes, I will do a quick little write-up about each of the strategies, and I'll plunk that into our chat group, and then that way you guys won't have to keep going through this whole thing to be like, what did she say? So I'll do the write-up.
Elizabeth and Melanie, did you see the link that I shared earlier? Aaron War, the GoPro guy, Eric. I think
Eric
that's his name. He's doing a 3-day free workshops on public speaking and stuff on network marketing. It's free. 3 days. Les Fraser and some other guy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Where did you put it?
It's on my wall.
Okay.
I'll take you and Elizabeth, and then it's free for 3 days.
Okay. That's awesome. Do you want to put the link in our chat group too?
Yeah.
Perfect. Amazing.
Which one? The tribe one or the Deadly Diamonds one?
Deadly Diamonds one.
Okay.
Yeah.